this recording, we will take a look at the course homepage and focus on some of the important aspects of the course. In the menu, you find three main areas: course information, lectures, and workshops. Under course information, we have some important things. The course literature is Applying UML and Patterns, the third edition by Craig Larman. I think you should get this book as soon as possible. There are reading instructions for the vital chapters in the course. The other chapters are also good to get the whole picture, but you do not need to focus on them. One important thing in the book is that there are several examples: a Monopoly game, a point of sale system, and a persistence framework. These three examples complement the examples we do during the lectures, so you have ample examples to draw from when it comes to analysis, design, and the actual implementation. You also have some reading instructions for each of the workshops. For example, for workshop number 1, that's about domain modeling, you should look at chapter 9 and also a little bit of chapter 31. This highlights an important feature of the book. It's iterative in nature. The book often explains the fundamental parts in one chapter and then builds on that in future chapters. And there can be quite a gap between these chapters. So, for example, domain modeling basics in chapter 9, more advanced concepts in chapter 31. The lectures we do, however, are sequential, so we do everything about domain modeling in lecture number 2. It's also important that you get registered for the course as soon as possible. If you cannot register the normal way, there is often some problem with the course prerequisites. You need to have at least 30 credits in computer science, computer technology, informatics, or something like that. More importantly, you need at least 7.5 credits in some object-oriented programming language. However, there are many different programs involved in the course and many different combinations of courses. So if you believe you fulfill these requirements but cannot still not register the normal way, please fill in the registration form as soon as possible. This form will close September 4th, and after that it will be hard to register for the course. If you're an old student that have already attended the course, you do not need to re-register for it. However, I need to give you access to the peer review system, online exam, and things like that. So please fill in the form below and I can grant access to these resources. As mentioned, there will be an online exam for the course. I will post more information when we approach the deadlines. Hopefully you will pass all the assessment items in the course, the test and the 3 workshops. You will get credits for each of these items. The test is a pass-fail and the workshops are graded A to F. You will also get a final grade for the course. The final grade will depend on the grade on the individual workshops. So looking at this table, you can plug in your grades. For example, if I did work for grade number 3 for workshop number 1, grade number 2 for workshop number 2, and the highest grade for workshop number 3, I will get a C as the final grade. Take a look at this table and decide where you want to put your energy. Next is the block of lectures. There is really nothing strange here. You will find some information about what you will learn. You will get some reading instructions and possibly some extra materials, slides for example. Then we have the recorded topic lectures. Most lectures have 2 parts. So this is the first part and this is the second part. There are 2 years of recordings for these lectures. The main difference is the programming language used for examples. There may also be slight differences in how I explain things. So if you look at 1 year's recordings and don't really understand, you can look at the other years and possibly I explain something a little bit differently. Finally, we have the important block with the workshops. Here you can find some general information, for example that you can work in groups, a little bit about the peer review and how they will be examined. You have the workshop deadlines, instructions for the peer review process, you can book tutoring, and most importantly, you have the requirements. So for each of the workshops, there are requirements for the passing grade, grade number 3, and some more requirements for the final grade. So basically, you need to do more work if you want a higher grade. If you pass the workshop, then you will get access to a suggested solution. There you can see how I solved this problem and some texts about the choices I made and why I made them. Finally, we have the Jetsea assignment. This is basically a complementary assignment that you need to adapt to the workshop that you possibly miss. So for example, if I miss the workshop number 1 about domain modeling, I need to create a domain model that covers these requirements of the Jetsea game. If I miss workshop 2, I need to take a look at the requirements for workshop number 2 and adapt them to the Jetsea game. Basically, this suggests a good object-oriented basic gameplay, a class diagram, and 2 sequence diagrams. For workshop number 3, I need to implement some patterns and a class diagram. If you have any questions, please post them in the course Slack channel.